Javonde.
I guess that dude's just a single dad. It's like the school district isn't even pushing to arrest him. They just want to get a restraining order that would keep him off campus but still let him pick his kid up.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. I see. The impotent anti-mask rage, dude. I was watching like public freakout videos last night, and like 90% of public freakout is crazy, mostly women, going to school board meetings and screaming at the school board about mask and vaccination policy in the school district. That seems to be the new pastime of choice for stupid people in this country. It's like nobody else will listen to us with any seriousness, so let's go to the only place your average person can go and speak freely for like a minute. Let's go to a school board meeting. Bored housewives, yeah. Bored housewives and people who's... I think it's beyond that, though. I sense like a lot of real angst and anger in this, and I think it has less to do with being bored and more to do with being desperate. I think people are just desperate to exercise any kind of control in their world, and this is a hill that they can die on. People don't know how to separate fact from fiction anymore, and so this is, people that know how to read have long ago sussed out this problem, but people that don't know how to read alternate sources and find out what's spurious and what isn't have just bought this like revolutionary anti-vax line, and it's not gonna fucking stop. It's not gonna stop until the country gets tough about it. That's just the way it's gonna have to go. It's either we live in a world where we're waiting for these people to learn the hard way and spread it around to a bunch of other people, or we just mandate the fucking vaccine and get it over with. And I know you know where I stand on that.
It's also completely constitutional.
Yeah.
There's a case in 1905 where the Supreme Court upheld a $5 fine for people not getting the smallpox vaccine.
I'm pretty sure one of the first things that the American government did was inoculation.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what disease it was. It couldn't have been smallpox.
I feel like it was.
It could have been, yeah.
It's like, they were doing it in that fucking Deadwood thing. They weren't even, like, incorporated yet, so.
Yeah. Like one of the American government's first, like, actions was inoculation against fucking smallpox. So this idea that it's like some kind of coup d'etat in the government or whatever, it's ridiculous.
It's weird. The person who upheld that precedent is that Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett, kind of loopy chick that Trump appointed. Even she's like, nope, government has every right, schools have every right.
That's why, like, legal precedent doesn't matter to these people. Science doesn't matter to these people. The only thing that these people understand is force. And that's just a shame it has to be that way. But when it comes to something this important, like inoculating the country against a deadly disease, establishing herd immunity against a deadly disease, we can't afford to sit and hear out your fucking ill-informed, backwards-ass fucking problems with it. Just go down and get your shot. And if you don't, you're going to get fucking thrown in jail, and you're going to get it anyway. That's it. That's all I got to do. Most of these people lined up outside of... I saw an angry mob outside of a vaccination clinic. I can't remember what state it was in, but it was in the public freakout subreddit. It's like an angry mob of people standing outside a vaccination clinic and shouting down workers as they go home for the night. They're chanting, will not submit, will not submit, will not submit. And when the workers come out to get in their cars to leave for the night, they scream, take off those masks! Take your masks off! And I'm just like, this has fucking gotten out of hand.
It's like almost sounds worse than like some of the shit going around like outside abortion clinics and shit.
It's the same type of shit. It's the same group of people, but they've gone completely fucking batshit loony. And well, they were batshit loony to begin with, but they're out at the forefront of the fucking conservative movement now, and fucking stupid liberals as well. This is like a twofold problem. I don't know, dude. I just haven't seen this type of fucking like unmitigated angst in a long time over things that actually deserve it, like endless war, like the fact that wages have been flat for 35 years and all this shit. Like, that's the type of shit I would expect to see these groups of people running and screaming about, but it's literally about having to put on a mask before they go into Walmart. Just mandate this fucking thing and start sending out fines to people who aren't on the books. That's it. That's it. End of story. A massive portion of these people would show up and do it anyway under threat of fucking going to prison. So just put it out there. Just say that, you know, it's been, how long has it been since the fucking vaccine's been fully available to anybody who needed it? Probably like 6 months, 8 months.
Probably March is when just about it.
March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, about 6 months. So now's the time that, you know, you just fucking say, like, look, you've got another month. If you're at this point, you've had half a year to go get the vaccination. People are still dying and getting sick. Hospitals are overflowing, and we're on the brink of lockdowns again. This is caused by people who refuse to go and get their fucking vaccine. So you've got a month. If you're not vaccinated by the end of the month, you go to prison and we vaccinate you. It's the way it's got to be.
90% of the reason why it's not FDA approved is just because there has to be a certain amount of time that passes.
Right. The trial period includes waiting to see if fucking long-term or medium-term side effects happen. In this case, we couldn't fucking afford to wait for that shit. It was literally a vaccine that came out, that was tested to the best of our ability, that we knew fucking worked, and we put it out as quickly as we could because we were in the midst of a fucking pandemic.
What are you supposed to do when there's like 500,000 people dead?
Right. It's over 500,000 people in this country dead from it now. It's not a joke. It's not a little freedom party. It's death. And in my opinion, it's not up to you to autonomously decide, if you're a member of my society, to autonomously decide that you get to infect people. You get to infect people's children. You get to make places of public business dangerous for people. No. No, you don't. You get to get picked up by the cops, taken to jail, and forcibly vaccinated and then released into the world. Bye-bye. Go out there and whine about how you had your rights trampled on. At least that whining, as I've said before, won't be filled with droplets of liquid death. It's just like, fuck, dude. Like, we're at the point now where people have lost their ability to fucking reason, to the point where you have to convince them that inoculation works in a pandemic. And when all they have to do is pick up a fucking history book. This is something I talked about yesterday. Ignorance of history has reached critical mass in this fucking country. I didn't realize this until probably like this year. How historically ignorant some of the people that I argue with are. I assume oftentimes that people are being willfully fucking stupid because they're making an argument that is contradicted by relatively recent American history, only to find out that they don't know it. They don't know recent American history. They don't know about the Spanish flu pandemic. They don't know about smallpox. They don't know about fucking, what was the polio? It's like they don't know that this has been done over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. We did an episode yesterday about Earl Warren where it was just like one of the things that kept coming up, and TJ kept remarking on it. This sounds just like today. This sounds just like today. It's like right-wing groups putting up billboards calling somebody a sinner and asking for them to step down and shit. But it happened back in the 50s and 60s, and all that shit is happening now again. Just the same shit. It's like the cyclical nature of fucking reality is invisible to people. And here we are, standing at the precipice of a fucking pandemic. And we've got a bunch of idiots who are too dumb to go get inoculated against it and think it's some kind of freedom fight to send their little fucking plague rat children in amongst other people's children and spread the virus around. Those people have got to be taken in by the cops. The police have to pick them up from their homes, drive them to a clinic, keep them fucking hogtied until they're injected, and then release them of their own recognizance with a nice fat fine. That's it.
Even the threat of a fine would fucking get at least, like...
Anything would do it at this point. Yeah, anything would do it at this point. But yeah, no, I have a feeling they're going to have to hand out the fines and go ahead and go to the fucking jailing. Let's just go do it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Enough of the games. Enough of the bullshit. You guys want another... 2021 is going to be just like 2020 was. It's shaping up to have the same fucking COVID numbers that 2020 did.
It's going to be the same shit. It'll be like it'll spike during the holidays and everyone's visiting each other and shit.
Fucking lockdowns locally. Hospitals and emergency rooms overrun with COVID patients so that people that need help for other things just die. This is going to happen again this year because people are too fucking stupid to go out and get a free vaccine. No joke, that's why it's happening. It's not because this virus has mutated and we didn't do it right or the vaccine doesn't work. It's literally because people are too dumb to go get a free vaccine in the midst of a deadly pandemic. It's time to take the stupid people by the hand. See, in school, when you're little, sometimes there are little kids whose parents didn't do right by them, didn't teach them basic things. And a teacher will have to grab that student by the hand and walk them over to whatever mess they've made or whatever thing that they've done and say, look, this is what you have to do. You will pick this up. You will not hit this person. You will get this vaccine. And unfortunately, what's happened is we've got a bunch of people who functionally never developed beyond that level because our public education system is an abject failure. So we have literal adult children running around in the world believing Dr. Seuss fairy tales about fucking the pandemic and shit. And it's their fault that everything's about to lock down again. I abided by the rules. I wore a mask. I stayed indoors for a fucking year, and as soon as I could, I went and got the goddamn jab. And I'm about to be in the same place again because a bunch of people are too stupid to go get it. Look, the time for making arguments about it is over. The argument phase of this is over. Vaccine mandate now. Fucking, you don't have it by the end of this month, you get a fat fine, $5,000. Most people can't come up with $5,000 off tops. They don't want to owe $5,000. Boom. And guess what happens if you don't pay the fine? Go directly to step 2, which is you get picked up by the cops. In fact, don't even do that because these fucking motherfuckers have guns. Wait till they go to work, pull them over on the street. Step out of your car, please, sir. Put your hands behind your back. Not going to work today, sir. Sorry about that. Going to the vaccines facility. Done. Done. Because these people are gone out of control. They're rallying at fucking every public event that they can get at with the intent to spread this shit around. I'm not wearing my mask. I'm going to spit. They'll get right in your face and yell at you. You know that's transferring the fucking virus? This is assault at this point. In the midst of a fucking pandemic that's out of control, these people are stripping their masks off and yelling in people's faces. At this point, the police need to be involved. Period. Point blank. Done with it. Yeah, knowing it. Yeah, if you walk around with fucking AIDS and have sex with a bunch of people and don't tell them about it, guess what that is? A crime. You walk around in the midst of a fucking pandemic spitting in people's faces and you don't get arrested for it. You're just allowed to sit out in front of a clinic where fucking doctors are trying to get people vaccinated in the midst of a pandemic, and instead of helping it, you're excoriating these fucking doctors for fucking shit they never did as they come running out and screaming for them to take off their masks and getting in their faces. And this is just allowed to go on. No. These motherfuckers have got to be rounded up. Round them up. Take them to the jail. Only keep them for long enough to give them their Fauci ouchie. And then send them the fuck home and let them bitch there. Let them bitch afterwards. It's over at this point. They're trying to make the argument that you need to go get vaccinated. No. No. That's not how it works. That's the road to 1 million+ deaths in America from COVID-19. No. You go and get these people who aren't on the rolls, and you find them in public, and you take them and you put their arms behind their back. You know, you pigs know how to do this shit, right? You oink daddies have been doing this for long enough. You know how to do it. One arm and then the other. You know what I mean? You hook them up. You put them in the back of your roller. You take them to the vaccine facility. If they're fucking thrashing and shit, you hog tie them. And a police doctor comes over and whoop, squeeze, gives them the thing. Then you put them in a cell till they cool down. And you can make sure that they don't have any symptoms that are going to be deadly, like anaphylaxis. And after a day or two of them cooling off in a cell, you release them with some paperwork that includes a fat fine that they now owe to the fucking community for having to waste resources to come pick them up and take them to get their vaccine. Boom. Done. That's it. That's part of the problem, is that the cops have become a political arm now. Why do you think cops are more likely to break up a protest of black people protesting police violence than they are a group of fucking rabid, weirdo, trailer park white people spraying fucking COVID-19 in people's faces? Why do you think they show up with the truncheons when black people are out, but just aren't even fucking present when a mob of people is surrounding a fucking clinic and screaming at the doctors as they come in and out?
I'm just talking about the beginning of the stream, like someone assaulted a teacher over anti-masker shit. And
Yep.
They weren't even arrested.
Yep. I read a story right here in California at a place that I used to go when I was in high school. It's up near Sacramento. It's called Amador. And they have a big theater competition, statewide California high school level theater competition there every fucking year. Really nice place, little fucking sleepy mountain community. Right? A dad went to pick up his daughter from work.
From school.
From school. Confronted the principal about the policy that his daughter had to wear a mask when she was indoors. A 6th grade teacher joined the argument, and the dad beat the 6th grade teacher's ass to the point where he had to go to the hospital for multiple lacerations to his face. The parent wasn't arrested. The parent literally threw hands on a teacher on school grounds because he didn't want his daughter to wear a mask. Fucking physical assault, and wasn't arrested. Police are investigating. What the fuck is that? Investigating what? How to put the handcuffs on somebody? Unbelievable. These people are fucking barging into every public fucking type of proceeding that allows people to come and fucking sit. Like city council meetings, fucking school board meetings and shit. And they're turning it into QAnon anti-vax fucking hour, where they get up and scream into the mic and make all these fucking like semi-violent demands and shit, talking about like how fucking the tree of liberty must be refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants and shit. These people are out of fucking control. This is what the cops are for. To quell fucking insurrectionists. So it's time. Beyond time. Dude, if a black dude showed up on campus and yelled at a teacher, there's a good chance a cop is going to come and take him to jail. White man shows up on campus and beats the fuck out of a teacher. Go on and go home. It's cool. It's cool. Head on home. We'll investigate while this guy's laying up in the fucking ICU with multiple lacerations to his face. It's done. No arguing with these people. There's no need. The fucking information is out there. Your argument is surreptitious. The information not only on this virus and the fucking inoculation for it, but past fucking government action in case of a pandemic, Spanish flu, polio, fucking all this shit. It's all in the history books. It's all there for them. You reading it to them isn't going to fucking affect it. They don't know how to process it anymore. They never learned how to properly process the facts. They were failed by the educational system, and this is the output of it. You have an army of dumb people out there who were literally led around by a fucking troll. You watch the fucking QAnon documentaries, it's pretty clear that somebody, I can't remember what that dude's name was, but either him or his son are Q. And these people have fucking like sold their whole lives to it. Because they don't know how to evaluate the veracity of things. They did not learn how to be critical thinkers in high school. They did not learn the rudimentary basics of critical thinking in elementary school and middle school. They weren't taught. Their parents didn't teach it to them. Society didn't teach it to them. And now they're adults. But they're basically, when it comes to shit like this, rampaging toddlers. Empowered toddlers. Well, what do you do when a kid fucking keeps running in the street and you tell them, hey, stop doing it? Eventually you got to go grab that kid and punish them, right? Well, it's about that time. You want to act like a toddler? It's time to get treated like a fucking toddler. That's the way it works.
Jim Watkins and Ron Watkins, the owners of 8chan.
Yeah, so I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of Q. It's definitely, you can't, I couldn't do one stream talking about Q. Q is a crazy, crazy story. How it came about is a crazy story. It's likely that Q was facilitated by Jim Watkins, owner of 8chan, which was an alternative to 4chan when Moot, the owner of 4chan, decided to crack down on things like deviant pornography, child porn, fucking death threats, and all this shit because 4chan was getting all this fucking press. 8chan was created as the new 4chan. And a bunch of people migrated over there, and it was on 8chan that Q first started delivering these drops or whatever the fuck. Actually, that's not true. He started on 4chan. Yeah. And then he was shut down by 4chan. Mm-hmm. And
it evolved after 4chan and
right.
Possibly a different person.
Right. So Q started doing these drops on 4chan. And then there's a good chance that that person was either banned or just got bored of the trolling and stopped posting. And there's really good evidence that at that point, somebody else became Q. But by that point, Q was not a giant cult. There were just a few people on fucking 4chan and the internet at large that were aware of these Q drops and shit. Then, very likely that somebody took the idea and moved it to 8chan, and it's very likely that it was the owner of 8chan or his son or both of them working in tandem. The Q drops changed in timbre and tone, became more conspiratorial, became, it was just different. It was just a different person clearly writing it, but the cult of personality continued to build, and it just went out of control. He knew how to manipulate these people. He knew how to give them just enough of a tidbit for them to make these wild extrapolations without actually making them himself. So when shit didn't happen, trust the plan and all that. It's just cult. It's cult shit. It's cult leader manipulation shit, but done on the internet. So this may be looked back on as the first time that the cult mentality really infected a lot of people from the internet. There's definitely not the first time there's been an internet cult, but this may be the first time that we've seen a mass acceptance of cult behavior based solely on the internet and its distribution platforms. But that's what Q is in a nutshell. In a nutshell, it is a crazy conspiracy theory about a bunch of secret people who were part of the Trump administration and the military who had this dossier on everybody in the fucking political sphere that wasn't Trump or had ever said anything bad about Trump, that proved that they were secret pedophiles and secret fucking murderers and shit. And Q was going to release all this information to the public, and the public had to help because, you can't just release it all. So he would give them a tidbit, and then people would make extrapolations about it. That's what Q is. It's literally toddler level internet LARPing, but people take it seriously. People actually brought it out into the real world. And these are people that are too stupid to know that they've been manipulated. These are people that are empowered by the Dunning-Kruger effect that QAnon encourages in its followers. These are probably people that have never made like an observation that anybody thought was smart or interesting ever in their lives. But QAnon allows you to make observations about anything. You can extrapolate anything from the words of Q. And so I really think it makes these people feel like they're smart because they're in on something that the average person isn't. Never mind the fact that what they're in on is a bunch of stupid made up bullshit that they were trolled into fucking believing. That doesn't matter to them. They're so desperate to have their fucking oversized Dunning-Kruger egos validated that this QAnon thing, allowing them to know something that everybody else doesn't know and to pretend that they're smart about it, that's all they needed. And whoever delivered this QAnon thing, whoever it was, in the end, seized on that. They seized on the Dunning-Kruger effect in people. The stupider people are, the less aware people are, the less capable people are, the higher opinion they have of their fucking intelligence and their capability. This is a well-known fucking correlation. So think about it. What were the stupid, dumb, racist, hillbilly fucking aspect of America waiting for? Something that they could be credibly smarter on, right? What comes along? This conspiracy theory that claims that everything is fake and we've got the truth and shit. And what happens? Pushback from everybody else. Oh, now I'm smart. None of these other idiots out here know and believe what I believe. So they skip the line to being smart. And that's all this is. It's a giant ego trip.
Most of them don't even actually look at the Q drops. They just listen to someone interpreting it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what happened is like these Q drops started coming out, and your average Dunning-Kruger idiot couldn't understand them, but they found somebody who was like, here's what this means, and here's what this means, and here's what this means. And then they go out into the world with that person's. Does this sound familiar to anybody, by the way? They go out into the world with somebody else's argument, not even really knowing what it's about or where it came from or what the provenance is, and just repeat it like it's fact. And that satisfies their Dunning-Kruger. That lets them go out into the public and go, I'm not putting no mask on, you stupid put a mask on, I'm American, this is my freedom, blah, 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 blah. And in their mind, no matter what the contrary evidence is, they're correct about one thing that everybody else is wrong about, and it makes them feel smart and special, and they've never felt smart and special in their lives, because they're not. because they were failed by the educational system. They were never taught to be smart. They were never taught to read properly and comprehend properly, never taught to think for themselves, never taught the basics of any kind of fucking scientific, fucking study or process or whatever the fuck, never absorbed any of it, never learned a language other than the one they speak, didn't even properly learn the language that they spoke. And now they're adults out there in the world and they see other adults talking with authority and intelligence on things, and they want that. They look at that and go like, nobody's ever looked at me with authority and intelligence ever. So what do? They skulk around the internet trying on different fucking masks until one of them, in this case QAnon, hits. And they find a group of dumbasses that are willing to validate them for the first time in their lives, and the Dunning-Kruger kicks in, and everybody's wrong, and me and my fucking Q buddies are right. And that's all they need. They've never felt it in their lives. They've never once in their lives had any kind of influence over anybody. And now they feel like they do. And they're never going to let it go. It doesn't matter if it's true or not to them anymore. It's become their personality. Some people have latched on to this because it's the only thing in their life that they've ever done where they got any kind of like positive feedback or validation from a subgroup. They've just been ignored. A lot of these people just like, they're the people that would like leave a dumbass fucking supportive comment on some more well thought out person's tweet and never get a like, never get noticed. They're at the bottom of the fucking list. Got 0 followers after being on the fucking platform for 3 years, and they know they're screaming into the ether, and then Q comes along. And now they're no longer screaming into the ether, they're screaming into an echo chamber of people that are just as dumb and credulous as they are. And it gives them this false sense that they're in the group of people that knows. It's just like religion. It's the same exclusivity as religion. We're the people that know, and the rest of these people are just lost. Self-reinforcing magical thinking.
And a lot of them don't even know how to use the internet. They just barely know how to use YouTube or something that
Yeah.
tell them what it means.
Yep. They have some other media figure lead them down a rabbit hole or give them a link to something else, and they read it, and then they just accept it as gospel truth because it came out of the mouth of somebody that's smarter than them. And that's just all this is, dude. That's all it is. And it's childlike behavior, and children have to be punished and corrected sometimes. That's just all there is to it. You know, they don't learn otherwise. If you don't ever punish or correct a child's bad behavior, you end up raising a person that doesn't fucking fit in society. You end up raising a person that doesn't know how to fucking navigate in society. A selfish, loud, angsty, stupid person. And I'm telling you, my generation and the generation that preceded it raised a bunch of those people. Bunch of angsty, stupid people. They allowed the rot of the union. They allowed the rot of public education. When I say they, I mean these generations. And this is the outcropping. We've now reached critical mass in this country where there are enough people that are literally stupid enough to suck up what they're told out of a sheer desire to feel like somebody listened to them once or that they were correct about something once.
If you want to know how bad it is, like, I think 2 of the top Patreons are both QAnon related.
Which I don't even know how that's a fucking thing. I guess, like, Patreon has banned, like, alt-right people in the past.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Sargon of Akkad had his Patreon nuked. Fucking, what's his name? Milo had a Patreon for a long time that got nuked.
We're
But
just making too much money off of it.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? QAnon fucking Patreon. Unbelievable. You guys don't understand. There is the critical, like this whole fucking thing that we've been musing and joking about for fucking a long time. The fucking war of the stupids, it's here. Like the rise of the stupids has happened. All of the shit that I've been bitching about when it comes to the educational system for fucking over a decade here on this platform, that we're starting to see the fruits, really starting to see it in a way that we can't ignore anymore. This is what happens when somebody is raised by parents that are distracted by other things, doesn't get a good education at all, and then is expected to go out into the world with authority as an adult. But they're still a child. They never learned basic adult reasoning. They never learned anything about the way the world works, or science, or politics, or history. And they go out into the world and they are fucking bait for demagogues. That's all they are. They're fucking empty vessels that are just looking to be filled up. And you know what happens? Some of them get filled up by people with good intentions, and they go out there and at least they fucking parrot ideas that have some merit in reality. Some of them, that's not good enough for them. Some of them go to people that are just completely fucking wacky, and they get filled up with wacky fucking bullshit because they never learned how to spot it. They never learned how to fucking fight it. They never learned how to cross-reference it or double-check it. They never learned these things. And so this is what happens. As the generations plow forward, more and more of those people exist. Because those people raise people. A lot of the fucking crazies that you see parked in fucking, school board meetings and outside of fucking vaccination clinics and shit, they have children at home, bro. They're raising the next generation of people just like them.
I wonder how rare it is, like, because I did something in school where we had to, like, evaluate the veracity of web pages. Like, they gave us some that were obvious bullshit, like fucking tree octopuses and shit. And, like, we were supposed to learn how to spot fake
Bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably really rare. I never had anything like that directly in my schooling. I believe that I got it by osmosis just because I got a well-rounded fucking introduction to the English language, to history, to math, to science. I wasn't smart at all of them, but I understand the processes behind them in a basic level. You know what I mean? Whereas I really don't think that a lot of kids, we're graduating functional illiterates in this country. That's just been true for a couple of generations now. And so it's like, well,
You wanna come in?
you hote.
I just know I'm starting to feel sticky, so he probably is too.
Ye. So you think the steepening in the decline of religion from COVID will reverse, or these people will just be a brain-dead vocal minority? Well, I think if the problem that allowed these types of people to exist in mass in this country continues to be unaddressed, that there will be more of these people every year. I think that that's just functionally true. And when I say these people, I'm not just talking about QAnoners. That may pass away. I'm talking about people that are very easily preyed upon by people with malintent. I think there's going to be more and more credulousness. Think about it. What's easier? Doing a full fucking analysis of a problem and coming to the conclusion that the emperor has no clothes, or just finding somebody you perceive as smart to tell you how things are and that everything's going to be all right. Because this, because that, because all we got to do is this, because all we got to do is that. Which of those things do you think is easier? I know which one would be easier. It'd be way easier to go to somebody else and listen to what they have to say about something and just parrot that and go like, okay. It'd be way harder to like look into it and develop your own opinion, your own position, your own belief, your own axiom based on what you know about the topic. That is hard and requires independent thought and requires critical thinking. And these are things that are just not taught functionally, directly, or otherwise. So what do we do?
pretty on the side of like trying to limit its spread with banning people who spread misinformation and shit.
Censoring them, huh?
Yeah.
Censoring misinformation. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that helps. The Streisand Effect kicks in. You censor something like Q, like look what happens when 4chan decided no more Q.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing this Q thing anymore. It went to 8chan and blew up because it had been censored. The Streisand Effect kicked in. So I don't know. I think the only way to fight it is to fundamentally change the educational system, to intercede in children's lives in a way that leads to fucking free thinkers and independent thinkers and critical thinkers. I don't think that's going to fucking happen. So I mean, a lot of this fucking shit, to give you an idea of how bad things have gotten, a lot of this shit is presented by the people that espouse it as critical thinking and free and independent thought. It's like fight the power, but in this case, fight the power that's trying to give you a free vaccine in the middle of a fucking pandemic. But whatever, who cares, right? Fight the power, yo. Don't fight the power as long as the power's name is Trump, but fight every other power. Fight whatever power my fucking Q guru, whichever one I watch, tells me is the most important one to fight. And make no bones about it. All these people invading these fucking town hall meetings and city council meetings and school board meetings, they're doing so at the behest of these Q guru guys. These fucking QAnon guys that have large followings on different fucking platforms and shit. They tell people, like, I'll fight this. Go out, go to your city council meeting. And what's the function of that? The wasting of time of public officials, as if we needed more fucking expenditure. You're literally paying so that some fucking weirdo LARPer that never learned how to separate truth from fiction can spend her whatever allotted time, or his whatever allotted time, 5-10 minutes, barking complete fantasy at an entire room of people, and that entire room of people, all of whom have jobs and shit that they're getting paid for right at that moment to do, have to sit there and listen. Unreal. These people are literally like jumping into the gears of society, the ones that do function on some level, grinding them to a halt, not for the purpose of making things better, but literally for the purpose of trying to make things worse. These people will not care until they're intubated, or they have a child that's intubated. And even then, some of these people aren't won over. That's how bad this has gotten. So there's no reasoning. At this point, the majority of fucking people in this fucking country don't believe this shit. So it's time for us to fucking act. And that's it. And by act, I mean round them up, give them the shot. I don't care about their fucking political misinformation. Let it feed the fucking dragon on that. I don't care. Round them up and get them the shot so that fucking society can return to somewhat normal and people can travel and people can fucking do business and shit. Dart drones. Yeah, it could be done. Just fucking hook up the dart drones, man. Any concerns about the majority of African Americans being unvaccinated and the damage having police remove them from their homes would cause more harm than good? In the midst of a deadly pandemic, no. No.
Like you said, fines first, and then
Yeah.
don't respond to the fine.
Fines first. Don't respond to the fine. Don't pick them up at home. Pick them up when they leave their house. so that there's no fucking shootout and no kids there to scare and shit. Just pick them up when they're on their way to the grocery store or some shit and just be like, all right, hands behind your back. You're going to get vaccinated today. That's it. Yeah, them being black has, you know what I mean? That has nothing to do with it. The vaccine is fucking free. So I don't care what color they are. They need to get out and get fucking vaccinated, no matter what the color of their skin is. Because at this point, they're spreading this shit around like wildfire. We're about to have a second year where we're all fucking trapped indoors. You guys like that shit? It's gonna be wonderful. Everything that's fucking, attractive about this country is gonna fucking shut down. And you're gonna be stuck in your fucking house again. And if you think that the government's gonna be, like, prompt with the payments, you better look at your history. You ain't getting paid shit. Not for a while. So you better buckle down. Go into more debt. Hope this rent moratorium thing extension gets extended again.
It really is imaginary thinking, like it'll cost too much to support people. It's like money is imaginary, honestly.
Yeah. Seriously, you're fucking absolutely right. What do you mean it'll cost too much? This country routinely just prints money. Money is just an idea. It's not actually based on a fucking standard. There's not a pile of gold for every dollar laying somewhere in a vault. Not anymore. Gold standard was abolished, I can't remember when. I think it was
40s or something.
Yeah, it was like Teddy Roosevelt or something that abolished it. I can't even remember what it was, but the gold standard hasn't been a thing in a long fucking time. We operate on a fucking... Oh, it was Nixon. Yeah, there you go. Fiat currency, buddy. Fiat currency. Money is printed all the time. Literally just made up out of thin air. Multiplied. So the whole idea of you being in debt is just theoretical. It's just theoretical debt. You're only in debt because everybody agrees that this dollar is worth something and not just a worthless piece of paper. Because go try and trade that dollar in for any kind of specie. Go and be like, I want gold. No. I want silver. Nah. You can't get no silver for $1.
Doesn't even have that high of a debt to GDP ratio. I think like Japan has like something like 60% debt to GDP ratio. They're not fucking collapsing.
Yeah, because debt doesn't mean anything. Debt is wealth. So this idea we can't afford to do anything is ridiculous. Money is made up to give to the fucking military industrial complex all the fucking time. Give that money to the people. Modern monetary theory. Gotta love it, dude. Gotta love defenders of it, too. Yes, it's all a casino, it's all a circus, and it's all based on fantasy, but you know what? It must be upheld, and here are the principles by which... What? It's a fucking nightmare. It's an exploitation fucking nightmare. It's a have and have-nots nightmare.
As long as money is imaginary, fucking dole it out.
Why not?
It'll go back into the economy anyways.
Yep.
People gotta buy groceries and shit.
Yep. Don't give people enough so that they can hoard it and become billionaires like you. You can remain safe in your billionaire status. Just give people enough money to live. They have to spend it in the economy. It's got to go in a landlord's pocket. It's got to go in a fucking grocery store's pocket or a farmer's pocket or a fucking whatever. They got to spend it. Give it to them. And then realize that if you can do that, that the idea of an economy is completely useless. Start making strong overtures to a resource-based economy. start making strong overtures towards dismantling these giant corporations and replacing them with public utilities, and fundamentally change the nature of a human life from one of drudgery to one of exploration of their passions. Because make no bones about it, there's one thing that like conservative people are right about when they talk about like hard leftists. We're not going to stop with the UBI. They're absolutely right. We get the UBI, we're going harder. You see what I mean? They're right about that. Because functionally, hard leftists in this country are hoping to see the paradigm that we currently live under utterly dismantled. So yeah, we don't stop with the UBI. We don't stop with the healthcare. Oh. Ricocheted off the Coke can. I would like to see people value craftsmanship instead of consumerism. Good luck. I think it was during a grease trap, but I was having this whole conversation with TJ about it. I think it was on a grease trap yesterday, where TJ was just talking about how he loves consumerism. And he went on to describe, like, because we kept going like, well, is it like buying the stuff? And he's like, no. And it's like, okay, so it's like looking at the stuff or like admiring the stuff. He's like, nope, it's having it. And I'm just like, what? I don't even understand the concept. I'm like, so what? You buy things to have them? Yeah. I like having things. And I was just like, we just kind of dug down into it. And, you know, whatever, you can believe what you believe about consumerists, but what I believe about people that genuinely are consumerists is that they have a hole inside of them that is bottomless. And they think if they throw enough fucking shit down it, whether it be drugs or purchases or extravagancies or this, that, or the other thing, if they do enough of that, that somehow that hole in the center of them is going to be filled. That's what I think about consumerists. And I'm not saying like people that like all people consume are under the banner of consumerism. Consumerism is like people that revel in it. People for whom it's like a main pastime of theirs to consume things. They go out into the world and they shop and they acquire and they accumulate. And it's part of their fucking kind of cycle to accumulate more and more shit. Because as we were talking to TJ about it, he even admitted, he was like, yeah, I always end up with more shit. And I'm like, fuck, man, I hate having all this shit. And I have to, you know, have a yard sale and sell a bunch of it. And I'm just like, why not just not accumulate it in the first place? But that's like a foreign concept to TJ. He's like, no. And so that is an inherently destructive thing, because it's not just TJ that feels that way. TJ is just honest about it. There's a good segment of our population here in this country that engages in that sort of fucking consumerism, that just kind of mass accumulation of stuff. And, well, you know what I mean? They're just as destructive as anything else to the fucking paradigm. The fact that they've taken our society and turned it into a game of just grabbing stuff is part of the problem, right?
But look at how stuff's marketed to kids. Like, a fucking toddler will literally have fun with, like, a tinfoil ball or something. If
Yeah.
that's all you give them.
Yeah, but like literally the opposite is done.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. I had that roommate that had a kid. And when that kid got old enough, he literally went fucking apeshit buying that child things that there's no way that that kid could ever play with at all. And the kid was literally more fascinated by the TV than anything that this dude bought him. But he would just keep doing it. And every fucking time the kid aged up 6 months, it was like he needed a new round of slightly more different plastic fucking nonsense toys, all of which are going to end up floating in the ocean someday. Because that kid was, if he ever played with them, he played with them for like a month and then was bored because he had 15 other little bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. Like that kid's life was just literally like distraction, 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 distraction. And the end result of it was just like a bunch of plastic. A bunch of literally worthless plastic. Not even plastic that has like a function. I'm talking about like fake grills. This kid had 2 of them. Fake grills, not grills, grills that you put meat on with plastic burgers, plastic spatulas. The whole grill is plastic. There's plastic cheese and a plastic bun to put the plastic burger on so your kid can make a plastic fucking meal. This kid had multiple stations that were for different things. He never played with them. I saw him play with them maybe like one day out of all the days of his life. So that plastic just went to shit because it just got thrown out. Goes in the garbage.
Yeah, because you can't, like, resell that to parents because they're all like, you germ.
Yeah, who wants to buy somebody's dirty old fucking toddler toy that their toddler slobbered all over?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy that shit, so it just gets dumped in the fucking... He takes a trip to the dump, and a bunch of plastic gets thrown in the fucking environment for literally nothing. And this is not uncommon. It's not like I'm describing some outlier in society.
My mom did that too.
Of course, everybody does it.
Kitchens and shit.
Everybody does it.
Kitchens and shit.
Yeah, everybody does it. Everybody... My parents spoiled the fuck out of me when I was a kid, to the extent that they could. Buying me shit that I played with for fucking maybe like a moment in my life. And then just fucking threw in a box and eventually threw away. It's just like common practice. This is part of the problem, guys. It's not even that it's a waste of damn money. Money doesn't exist. We just got done telling you that. It's a waste of resources. It's a detriment to the environment. And nobody wants to talk about it because it's done for the kids. That's another thing. Having children at the point where your society is overflowing with people is a detriment to the environment. Giving in to your personal desired influence, fucking whatever the fuck, to have a child at a time when the world is literally overflowing with problems is incredibly, incredibly destructive. It creates more need in a society that is overflowing with it. So it's an incredibly selfish thing to have a child at certain fucking eras in history, and I think this is one of them. Yeah, adopt. People are always gonna fuck, always gonna make kids, don't always want them. Adopt a kid if you really care. But if you don't, stop. Because it's destructive. Look at what it precipitates. People sending you plastic shit that your child's gonna look at once. I've literally seen it. Dude, I grew up, I didn't grow up. When I was a fucking adult, I knew a lot of people that I knew started having kids. And so I was adjacent to a lot of fucking toddlers and shit. I would go to these fucking first birthday parties and shit, right? Because my friend's kid was turning 1. And it would all be the same shit. The kid would be ripping open presents and not even really aware of what was going on at 1-year-old. Just kind of like, tear it open, tear it open. And then the kid would look at the box and everybody in the room gets excited, but the kid is just like, huh? And they'll pull a toy out and the kid will play with it for 5 seconds until they realize, which they eventually do, that there's a million of these boxes that are all for them and that they all have some new thing in it. And I've watched kids get something and literally like throw it. They're just like, and grab another present, you know what I mean? And that's maybe the only time the kid ever touches that thing.
We're getting kids things that they can't possibly put together themselves. It's too fucking complicated for them.
Of course, this anti-natalist sentiment is gross. See, watch, I've already triggered somebody because I've dared to talk about the fact that having a child is incredibly destructive to the environment. So here we go. Here comes Jason. You're extrapolating consumerism culture from biological need to have children. Products are created. No. I'm not extrapolating that. I'm just saying that in the current culture, having a child comes with a bunch of fucking waste. A bunch of plastic shit gets mailed to you by everybody that you know and love and given to your child, and you give it to your child, and they look at it one time, and then you end up with a box of shit that you eventually throw away because nobody wants, like I said, disgusting fucking diaper shit toddler toys from some other person's kid. So it gets thrown in the dump. See, that's what I'm not extrapolating anything other than that. That in this current fucking environment, it's incredibly, incredibly destructive to have a child. And if you try and look me in the eye and tell me that's not the overarching cultural paradigm for everybody that you know and love to literally mail you every plastic piece of shit on the planet, and then for you to dedicate a certain amount of your income to literally useless plastic hamburgers with plastic cheese and plastic buns, you look me in the eye and tell me that's not destructive and worthy of talking about, and I'll fucking engage your argument further. I think you're being fucking ridiculous.
Think of the diapers. Those don't go away.
Yeah, seriously. What was wrong with back in the day having like 20 or 30 cloth diapers?
Because that takes you being able to stay at home with your kid, which we don't support anymore.
Why do you have to be at home with your kid to throw a bunch of diapers in the fucking washing machine?
People do it for convenience. It's like, it takes time to wash diapers and shit.
We literally just let our kids shit into plastic. And then throw the plastic in the trash can. One-time use shit rag for like what, a year and a half of their life? What is that? Who is that? So if you think that this is like not something worthy of talking about, I'll hear it. But if you want to come at me with this like procreation fucking, we need society to survive, so people need to keep cranking out babies in the midst of the apocalypse so they can fucking accelerate it. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear your fucking argument if that's what it is, bro. One of my brothers won't talk to me because I gave my old toys to a friend that appreciated them instead of his daughter who would play with them once. Exactly. There's all kinds of this shit. There was a fight, a very famous fight on the Howard Stern show where this guy in the fucking back office gave a bunch of baby stuff to this other dude. And the other dude didn't need it. He took it out of fucking, reciprocal kindness or whatever. But then it got out that the guy's kid couldn't wear half the clothes. And the guy was like, well, you should have given it back to me then. So it's just like this whole fucking like weird thing with this baby shit that nobody wants. Because nobody wants to put their child in something that some other person's child is pissed and soiled. You know what I mean? Because their kid is a fucking little diamond. And everybody else's kid is just a rock on the ground. That's the way children are fucking raised in this country. And it leads to this culture of fucking people literally burning down the forest to announce what gender their little shit eater is. Think about that. You want to be on that side of the fucking argument? You go for it, bro. Oh, that's a big boy. Oh, he landed on the step too. See him?
Oh, yeah.
Got a new step resident. Yeah, you land over there too. You guys seem to like landing right there, and when you do, you die every fucking time. So come on over here.
You know what one of the dumbest things are? Baby shoes. They
Yeah.
can't even walk.
Yeah, why are people putting sneakers on a fucking child that literally can't even crawl? Baby shoes, yo. Nobody wants to talk about this, though. Look at how triggered Jason got just because I brought up that children are a huge fucking sink of plastic and nonsense. Oh my God, you're arguing against procreation and you're arguing... Look how people gets fucking triggered. Just from the idea that your little shit grub doesn't need 90 rooms filled with plastic hamburgers to pretend to flip. They're probably going to play with that one fucking time. And then it goes in the garbage because they pooped on it the one time they played with it and nobody wants it now. Baby Jordans, bro. Baby Gucci fucking bibs. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you fucking joking with me, dude? No, it's not called misappropriation. It's called a toxic culture of child worship and parent worship, where we have developed this thing where it's like society as a whole is expected to make way for parents. And it's an emotional drain on everybody around them. The it takes a village mentality never died with the rest of the village fucking lifestyle. People think that because they have a shit eater, that the whole world revolves around them. That the plastic that they waste buying plastic hamburgers for their plastic children doesn't matter. And when you bring it up, they get all fucking defensive and shit. Like their kid was some sort of fucking diamond that deserved to be showered in wasted fucking plastic and wasted plastic diapers diapering their ass because their little kid is too good to shit into cloth and they're too good to clean up poopy cloth. Fuck parents. Fuck these entitled motherfuckers. They're just as culpable as anybody else, if not way more so than the average person for the death and destruction in this fucking planet. American parenting, Western parenting is a goddamn industry of fucking exploitation. Think about how many people in Mexico are fucking working in shit factories to churn out this plastic horse shit. Taiwan. Zero-use plastic horse shit. Make an excuse for it. Zero-use plastic horse shit that your kid looks at once and is bored with and just ends up sitting in the room till you throw it out. Make an excuse for it. Single-use shit diapers made of plastic that you just throw in the fucking garbage. Make an excuse. If you don't have time to fucking clean diapers, clean cloth diapers, don't have a kid. You don't have time to raise a kid if you don't have a time to fucking throw cloth diapers in the washing machine. You have time to raise a kid at that point. Don't buy me this, don't sell me this convenient shit. Convenience is laziness at this point. Endless wasted shit.
What I will say, like, oh, these toys are stimulating, the ones with the stupid lights that scream all the time. It's like, you know what else is useful? A book for a kid. That's stimulating.
You know, it's even more useful for a kid, especially those 1-year-olds and shit. A book for the parent so that the parent learns something that they can impart to the fucking kid. While your child is 1 year old, give them a tinfoil ball to play with and give them your attention. They need to play with you. Patty cake, read to them, talk to them, teach them to babble. You have to invest time in a child. You can't hand a child a flashing piece of plastic and have it raise them for you. I'm sorry, you can't do it. And you don't think that's behind a lot of the fucking ills that kids are fucking seeing? You don't think that's behind, at least partially, the increased autism diagnosis? You don't think there's a chance that children who are denied human contact at some of the most developmental times in their lives might precipitate autistic children? There are long-term studies out now that are pointing in that direction. So you let me know what you think, bro. Dude, a fucking 10-year-old shouldn't have a smartphone. Are you kidding me? What's a 10-year-old need a smartphone for? Fuck that. I see 10-year-olds running around with smartphones and I just go, fucking, what a nightmare. You think that like 10-year-olds don't need like the same things that fucking toddlers do? Raising a child means a constant dedication to involving yourself in that child's life and doing things to help engage that child. Handing them a smartphone ain't it, chief.
They're gonna break it.
Even if they don't break it, they're gonna find themselves fucking sucked into a completely educationally fucking worthless loop of stupid, brain dead entertainment and infotainment and bullshit. That's what they do with it. It's your job as a parent to actually raise an adult. People don't want to do that, but they want to keep fucking and keep having kids and keep getting all fucking triggered when somebody brings up the privilege that they display. When they raise a fucking nightmare of a kid and then look at society and go, help me with it, help me with it. You know what? I'm glad that there is some sort of fucking soft landing for people that need that, but fuck you. I'm glad there is some sort of mechanism where some kids are given some sort of help that need it that their parents can't provide. But you know what? If you're one of those fucking people, fuck you. Fuck you for your insolence. Fuck you for your fucking inability to think about giant life decisions. Having a child? Are you kidding me? You're responsible for a human being and the entire impact of that human being's life will have. You create a human who is going to live all of the things that you've lived: heartbreak, degradation, fucking moral certitude, moral rectitude, all of the things that make up the fucking vile human condition. And you're blithely doing it and then shrugging at society when your child is a nightmare and expecting it to defer to you. Fuck you. Not willing to talk about the fact that people are burning down forests to pop off the gender reveal for their kids. Fuck you. Not willing to talk about the endless plastic nonsense that we shower on our fucking children in this country and the fucking environmental degradation that it causes. Fuck you. Not willing to talk about the absolutely fucking brutal impact of bad parenting, creating bad adults who endlessly perpetuate the cycle of bad parenting until you have things like QAnon. Fuck you. Fuck you and your privilege. I don't care how fucking angry you get. You don't have a right. You don't have a right to shit out a problem on society and take no fucking responsibility for it. You can't raise a child, don't have one. And look into what raising a child means, because it doesn't mean just plopping it in front of the DVD player. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a boomer. Plopping it in front of the fucking smart TV or a tablet. It's a little more involved than that. And if you don't have that, don't have a kid. I'm anti-human. No, I'm anti-stupidity. I'm anti-ignorance. I'm anti-environmental degradation. I am not anti-human. Go fuck yourself. Thanks for your $1.99. Another triggered motherfucker. I'm anti-human. Because I think that parents ought to have a real fucking heart-to-heart before they shit out a child. No oopsie babies. No excuse for that shit no more.
Like the replacement rate shit, it's like there's a huge refugee crisis. All those people want to come here and work and fucking contribute to the economy and shit.
That's globalism.
Yeah.
That's globalism, Amelia. And that's white genocide as well. That's how white people are erased from the earth, Amelia. Stupid. Stupid people. I don't think you're anti-human. Love you, broski. Well, whatever, Jason. 'Twas you that triggered this salt outburst, but I'm just fucking done with that fucking sense of entitlement that comes with parenthood and the inability and... When's the last time you ever heard about this? The destructiveness of bringing a fucking unwanted child into this world. When's the last time you heard anybody, any media figure talk about this? Because it's like sacred ground. It's like a sacred cow. It's the one thing you don't talk about. People's right to shit out another copy of themselves and raise it poorly. That's their fucking, hey, that's their territory. Since when? I've got to deal with that motherfucker in the future. So guess what? I think it's my territory too. I think it's high time we examine the culture of childbearing in this country and separate it from consumerism and start making it what it is, a really, really tough decision, especially given the times. And Amelia's absolutely right. There are millions of people dying to come to this fucking country right now. You talk about the replacement rate being a problem. That's how you get over the hump. Let these people come in. Let them contribute to the economy. Stop Yes, those unwanted children get abused. There are endless examples of this. No, sometimes directly and very fucking horribly, physically, sexually abused, mentally abused, sometimes just more passively abused. Neglect is abuse. Neglect is abuse. Neglect is abuse. I will say it 3 times because let me tell you what neglect is. Plopping your kid down on the fucking couch with a fucking phone and letting them play 8 hours of fucking endless, stupid fucking games on your phone all day. Neglect. Plopping your kid down in front of an endless, empty-headed fucking cavalcade of explosive, attention-grabbing nonsense on the tube. Neglect. Neglect. These children need direct human interaction from you, the parent. And if you didn't have time to give them that, you shouldn't have had them in the fucking first place. And you shouldn't come to fucking the rest of us and ask us to fill in the gaps for you. You should use it as a way to fucking, like, look, I made a bad decision. Time for me to retool my life and become a better parent. Because when you just continue on blithely ignoring the fact that you know, and by the way, everybody that just plops their kid down in front of a phone or a tablet or some shit, they know. They can't claim ignorance because they know that that's not a facsimile for their fucking attention, time, care, and love. They know it. They do it anyway. And they do it with this fucking aura of privilege that we bestow on them as a society because they've engaged in the holy act of copulation. Fuck them. Their problems become our problems. And that's not fair. You didn't tell me how to raise my kids, boy. Well, look what it's led to.
Yeah, people will pass their kids on to anyone. They're like, oh, you're my sister, you have to watch my kid. Oh, you're...
You know how many people are raised by their grandmothers functionally and shit? Tons.
Yeah.
Tons. It's super fucking supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, dude. Tons of people. Grandma raises them, some aunt or uncle raises them because mom and dad couldn't fucking handle it. You just brush off your fucking problem onto other people because you just had a fuck. And you've got every avenue to not make the mistake in the society, including being able to correct the mistake after it's made, and you choose not to do it because you're selfish and stupid, and you bring a child into this world that you have no fucking capability, let alone intention of actually raising properly, and you use it as a moral shield against any fucking criticism of yourself, and you use it as a chess piece against other people, and you use it. You never fucking teach it how to be a human being, because probably you were never taught how to be a human being, and the cycle is perpetuated, and we're seeing the outcroppings of that now. This is all connected to what we were talking about earlier. This is how you get Trump. This is how you get QAnon. This is how you get a society that is so stupid that it can't look at fucking the past 10 years. Even people that are considered to be like based and super fucking reading of theory and super theory literate don't know the last 10 years of their history. We have lost that as a society. We don't look at history anymore. We don't learn from the past, so we're doomed to repeat it. And you want proof of that? Just go look at the political history of the United States. And it's all connected to this very self-same problem. Reckless procreation of people that are just not prepared to be parents because they didn't get an education and they're not willing to educate themselves. They think it's their absolute moral right to bring a little screaming bundle of need into the world, and they will do it, and they will do it, and they will do it, and they will do it. And that child will turn out to be a burden on society. A person whose fucking stupidity ends up getting sprayed in the faces of fucking doctors as they leave COVID vaccination clinics. You don't think... When I asked him why Bernie Sanders lost in 2016, go look at his answer. I want you to do me a favor, Ricklin. Go watch the last time I was on his show. And when I ask him, why did Bernie Sanders lose in 2016? Tell me what his answer is. I won't even quote it here for you, so you don't accuse me of making something up. You're telling me he knows the last 10 years of history. When I ask him that question, go and look at what his answer is. You can go look it up yourself. I don't even have to taint you with my perspective on it. That's your homework. Because you're spouting off at the mouth about something you don't know about, bro. You're blindly defending somebody in a way that's pretty indefensible. So instead of being dumb up in here, why don't you go inform yourself? I mean, if you got a timestamp, dude, I watched that debate. Okay, so then if you watch the debate, do you recall when I said, why did Bernie lose in 2016? And he said, I don't really know, dude. I don't really remember. I remember being really angry. That was his answer, period. He played dumb. He said he didn't know, didn't remember, and he remembered being mad about it. So if that's what you think having knowledge of the last 10 years of history is, I'm sorry, you and I have a different set of definitions, Ricklin. So if you watched it, do you recall that, dumb fuck? Did you absorb that part of the debate? I don't really know, my dude. It was a long time ago. 2016 was a fucking long time ago? My guy. I don't know, my dude. I don't really know why Bernie lost in 2016. Vosh is a fucking dude who has had tons and tons of debates with people on Marxist theory, on the writings and philosophy of Marx and Engels. Didn't know about the International and didn't know about the Haymarket Affair. Didn't know about the post-Gilded Age labor movement in America. Was completely and utterly incapable of fucking adding anything to that discussion. Just completely unaware of it. But he knows his history, though, right? Why do I hate him so much? Because he's a person that wears the cloak of political radicalism, but funnels his very young, very impressionable audience into neoliberal activism, voting for status quo politicians because he convinces them it's the best that they can do, my dude. That's why I don't like the guy. Yeah, that's the standard fucking brain dead Voshite fucking take, is like you call out something that Vosh said and you're taking him out of context. You're quote mining him. He actually didn't say that. He actually didn't mean that. He's actually addressed that already, my dude. It's just a bunch of fucking shit, dude. The guy just, you know what I mean? The people that follow him blindly just don't hold him to any kind of accountability. Here's a guy that wants to be a fucking voice for electoral politics who doesn't know why the outcome of the 2016 election happened. By his own fucking admission. Doesn't know. Has no clue, my guy. So nobody ever does that? Is that what you're telling me? Nope. That's not what I'm telling you at all. I think you're in here doing it too. I just think that you have 0 people paying attention to you, and he has a few 100,000 people paying attention to him. So, yeah. Next. Anything else you want to... Like, dude, Ricklin, you're doing that thing where a dumb person doubles down and triples down in the chat and thinks that, like, if they sprinkle a lull into their fucking increasingly salty argument, that they're going to get a win. And there's no win to be had for you here. There's no win for you here, Salt Lord. Literally none. How many more times am I going to pair the clips against the VOD and see this happen? What are you talking about, bro? What are you fucking talking about, bro? Since Vosh was such a letdown, will you go to the source of his takes, Destiny, and have a talk with him? I don't really care. I really honestly don't care. He'd go get his win if it actually existed, but actually going and getting the context would blow his whiny BS out of the water. Yeah. Yeah, you're playing dumb. Yes. Yes. Yes, you're playing dumb. You're dummying up because you want to pretend that you have an argument here, and you don't. You made a claim that, I'm pretty sure that he knows recent history, my guy. And I just provided you a direct example of when he doesn't know recent history. He doesn't know why Bernie wasn't the fucking nominee in 2016. He doesn't know how Bernie dropped the strap to Hillary Clinton. He doesn't know. There's no context around that. It's a direct question that I ask. Okay? I go, why did Bernie lose in 2016? And his answer is, I don't know, my guy. It was a long time ago, my dude. I remember being mad, my guy. That's about it, though. But he knows his history, right? So who's got the fucking dumb take floating out there that they can't back up now, me or you? You're the one making fucking positive claims, Rick. I'm about to ban your fucking dumb ass out of here. Yeah, go find it, dumb fuck. You're the one in here making claims. You're the one in here saying that Vosh knows his history. So go look it up and let me know what you think. Go find it, my dude. In fact, you know what? If you want to whine about it, will somebody find the fucking timestamp for him and put it in the chat, please? It won't take long for those of you that have watched it. I can't do it because I'm sitting out here on the fucking porch, but if one of you has a little bit of free time for Ricklin, because we're asking so much of him to go and back up his fucking claims, does somebody want to give him a general timestamp in the Vosh video? Where Vosh says, I don't know. So this motherfucker doesn't have to die on this hill. And if I find it and there's no additional context, you'll tell me you were wrong, right, or do you even care? What? I will tell you were wrong and you jumped to defend somebody blindly and made a stupid fucking statement that's easily fucking defeated by the person that you're talking to's last conversation with this fucking person that you claim to have watched, but apparently you have no recall. So somebody else, there's probably a few people that are looking for a timestamp for you. And you can go watch it, my dude. And then you can come back in here, my guy. And you can watch the context around it, my homo sapien. And then come back in here and tell me what you fucking think about your take. I got people out there looking for it. You just hang tight. I don't want you to have to work for your takes, Ricklin. I don't want to ask you to do a quick fucking scan of the fucking timeline, my dude, to back up your fucking takes, my guy. So I've got some people in the chat willing to do it for you. What is your implication, though? That Vosh doesn't pay any attention to politics? That he is stupid? No. That Vosh is advocating for things that he's not willing to do the basest amount of research about how those things have worked in the past. He's advocating for continued action like it's new, like it's something new, and doesn't know that this action has not worked in the past. He literally advocated for the election of Bernie Sanders and doesn't know why Bernie Sanders lost in 2016, has nothing to add to that. So he's going to continue to advocate for somebody and not look into why that somebody has failed in the past. He's going to continue to advocate for a set of actions, one of them being voting for fucking neoliberal oppressors, and not look at how that's worked out for America in the past. What else is too long ago, my guy? If he doesn't remember Bernie Sanders in 2016, what else is too long ago with this fucking guy? How much history am I supposed to think he knows? Didn't know about the Haymarket affair. Go look when I bring that up. I ask him directly. Of course you know about the Haymarket affair. Honestly, no. I don't care that he's 27. He's presenting himself as a dude that's read all fucking theories, read all Marx and Engels, and has tons of fucking 8-hour streams debating it. And there it is, dude. 1 hour, 45 minutes into the fucking conversation, Ricklin. Have fun. My guy. It's fucking dumb fucks, man. You think because you follow a strong personality, you don't need provenance anymore. So now your fucking lazy ass has no excuse. Go look. Ugh, fine. I gotta back up my take. Fine. Fine. What a baby you are. What a fucking intellectual piss baby you are, Ricklin. You literally had to have your hand held in here for a fucking take. So juvenile. I agree, Ricklin. I fucking agree. You're acting like a piss baby. You're acting like it's an imposition on you to back up one of your fucking takes. So go take your loaded ass diaper over there and watch it and quit arguing with me over here. Next argument I see from you over here, I'm going to assume you're not doing what you should be doing, and I'm going to ban your fucking ass. So don't post until you've gone and watched it. The Haymarket affair and the post-Gilded Age labor movement in America for a person who is a self-described ANCAP and radical fucking leftist, or what does he call himself? He's changed his shit now. He's no longer an anarchist now. Now he's a libertarian market socialist or some fucking shit. Yeah. If you have that fucking detailed a descriptor for yourself politically, there's no excuse not to know the fucking basic history of the leftist movement. If you're going to quote Marx and Engels all fucking day, there's no excuse. The Haymarket affair was directly involving the International, taking direct orders from Marx and Engels. How do you not know about that if you're a dude that's done fucking 90 hours of streaming on Marx? I'm not asking him to know some insane piece of random trivia. I'm asking him to know, like, basic American leftism 101, and he doesn't. Got anything else, Dakota? It's not like I asked him to know, like, who invented the paperclip? What's the name of the guy that invented the paperclip? Oh, you don't know? Ah! I'm asking him to know basic things about the shit he spouts off every day, and he doesn't. He doesn't know it. Does that affect the output of his advocacy? In my mind, yes, it does. For contrast, and my own curiosity, Paul, when did you first learn of the Haymarket affair? I first learned of the Haymarket affair in college. I took a college political science class, and the political science class started with Gilded Age America. And so that was the first time I ever heard about it. I didn't learn a ton about it because it was one part of the lesson module. But that was the first time I heard about it, was in college. It was Poli-Sci 1. And I would have been 24, 25 or something at that abortive attempt to go back to college. But I did really good in political science. So that was the first time I heard about the labor movement during the Gilded Age in America and the Haymarket affair. Didn't learn about it in depth until I got Death in the Haymarket recently. Oh, fuck. Come on. The big, fat, juicy one, too. I gotta get closer, though. Yeah. In my opinion, the best reading material is Death in the Haymarket. I can't remember the name of the guy that wrote it, but you can go search for that. It's available on Amazon. It is a comprehensive coverage of not just the Haymarket affair, but the Gilded Age labor movement that bookended it. You will learn a lot about the International, about Marx and Engels, about the ways that the American labor movement differed from the European labor movement, about how anarchists and socialists and communists fundamentally changed the face of American labor. You'll learn a lot about the parallels between that time, and when I say that time, I mean Gilded Age America, post-Civil War America, and now, in terms of wealth distribution, monopoly consolidation, all of this type of shit. James Green, thank you. No, it's okay. Ricklin, give Ricklin all the time that they need, because I really don't want to fucking bother anymore with them. If Ricklin comes back in here and says one wrong fucking thing, Ricklin's gone for good. It'll be the last time Ricklin posts in here. I'll give him as much time as he needs. I don't even care if he never comes back. In fact, that's preferable at this point, because I consider it a waste of time. He doesn't need a reminder. So once again, I went to a community college, right? And my Poli-Sci 101 class started with a module on Marx, Engels, the International, and the Gilded Age labor movement in America, and how politicians and people interfaced during that time. So I have no degrees, but yeah, quit adding Ricklin. Okay, you watched it, and what's your take? What's your hot take, Ricklin? Be very careful, because if you're going to be a time waster or a self-serving piece of shit, I'm just going to ban you. So what'd you find out? Da, na, 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 na. Boy, here we go. Here's the contextualization. He did say that. You know why he probably said that. I don't care. Don't even type it. I know you're typing it right now. Don't send it. Don't send it. Be quiet for the rest of the stream. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear why you think he probably said that. Don't even type it. Don't type another thing for the rest of the stream. Put yourself on perma mute, or I will ban you the next time you fucking post. You're done for this stream, Ricklin. No. That's it. That's it. That all right, man, is it, and I'm going to time you out to make sure that you don't fucking violate it. You come back after that fucking timeout, and you're done. You've been around for a long-ass fucking time, but you're done. Oh my God, Dakota, you're so fucking stupid, bro. Nuance is not what somebody thinks somebody might have meant. That's not nuance. That's wild speculation, Dakota. You need to learn the difference, dipshit. Your pink ass is on the block next. Because I'm tired of your jiggly-puff motherfucking ass up in my shit, sucking Vosh's stinky old balls. So take your 300 fucking seconds and come back and wash the taste of his fucking nut out of your mouth. Because I'm sick of your fucking Jigglypuff bullshit, too. I don't care that it's Kirby. It's fucking Jigglypuff. I'm sick of your goddamn Jigglypuff fucking ball fucking washing of Vosh up in here. When there's indefensible shit that we're talking about. We're not talking about some fucking, like, spurious pedo accusation. By the way, some of that shit is a little fucking alarming. But I'm not going to go to that level. I don't need to. I'm talking about his fucking politics here. Dude doesn't know the last 10 years of American political history. Doesn't know the basics of American leftism. So your Jigglypuff ass can fucking come back and move on to something else. But if I were you, I'd shut the fuck all the way up. I'll show you how fucking mad I am, bro. See you later. Give me 5 minutes of your time to make another fucking account, bitch. Let me show you how triggered I am, motherfucker. Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, singing me to sleep with your fucking endless ball washing of Vosh. You guys are going to be shocked to learn this too. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you. Dakota is Great is a routine poster in another community. I want you to take a guess which community that is. Hint, it's not Vosh, although it is Vosh as well. But I'm not talking about Vosh. A routine poster in another person's community. A person that if you watch Highdeology at the very least, you'll know. Routine. Routine haunter of yet another community that you're likely to know if you watch Highdeology. Damie Jarkey, yes. Dakota is a Jamie Darkey cheerleader. To all these morons saying you need to debate Destiny instead of Vosh, he himself has said several times that he learned how to debate from Destiny. I don't want to debate Destiny, to be honest with you. I don't, like, here's the thing. I'm a fan of Destiny's from back in the day, and so it would, like, be kind of, like, I don't want Destiny to outright hate my guts. Because I actually think he was a really funny dude back in the meme lord days and back in his like semi-pro gaming days. I really liked Destiny back then when he was a part of Root Gaming and he was a semi-pro StarCraft 2 Zerg player. I used to watch his streams all the fucking time because he was funny and insightful and he wasn't mired down in political fucking bullshit. And I really feel like when he made the choice to make politics a front and center fucking discussion topic on his channel, he became unwatchable. Like, I've tried to watch Destiny now, and it's hard. It hurts me to watch him because I used to like him so much. Yeah. Like, I used to like the dude, like, just in terms of, like, being funny and being a meme lord and shit. Like, he was a funny dude. Fave part of the stream. Well, thanks, Black Butter Crunch. But yeah, I can't watch Destiny anymore because it's always him just like talking about some drama with another leftist or doing some debate analysis of this, that, or the other. I just don't care, dude. I don't care. I don't even really know what Destiny's positions are politically because I haven't really seen any of the stuff where he concretely lays that out. What I have seen is a few, like just him arguing like an ape with another fucking leftist or something. And then clickbaiting it up, you know, like that shit will come across my fucking recommended stuff, and every once in a while I'll check it out to see what it is, and it's just like him and Demon Mama screaming at each other, or him and Vosh screaming at each other, and I'm just like, all right, well, whatever. You know, this shit used to be way more fun when Destiny was just like kind of like a semi-pro troll in video games, but whatever. I liked Destiny back in the day, so I really have no interest in being like a political adversary of his, even though, as I understand it, he and I probably disagree on a lot of shit. Because I just don't care enough. Thanks, Hilly, for the money. You all appreciate it. Dear mama. Even though she was a crack fiend mama, yeah, still she was a black queen mama. Tupac, dude. Oh, God. That's enough. Oh, that's enough weed. We're good. Oh, that was a sneaky hit. That hit snuck up on me real proper. Whoa. Bosch and Zank Uger lost the 2016 election. Dude, Zank, dude. Chank Uger, dude. The fat brown buffalo himself. Sank Uyghur. Sank Uyghur, dude. Your face and eyes turned red. Yeah, I'm stoned, bro. I'm super duper stoned. Anyway, I have to go prepare myself for a long shooting day. I will see you later. Goodbye.